All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it's to do the player ratings for the Arsenal versus Liverpool game. Now, normally I do player ratings the day after my review, but as some of you know, particularly those of you who watched our 2-hour epic of a preview between myself, Lee Gunner and Robbie Richmond that we did on Thursday, I tweeted shortly after that we'll be doing a live review of the game. And due to Robbie's schedule, unfortunately, I normally don't like to encroach on Tom's normal timings for the Duna Tour, but the only time he could do that is 9 p.m. Tomorrow. So we're going to do that, which means whether you watch me live or you watch Tom live, make sure you watch the other person on a playback. but yeah, in terms of the game, for me, I thought the game was a really enjoyable game to watch if you weren't involved. In terms of if you were a neutral, this would have been the perfect game for you to watch. End-to-end stuff with both of our defenses weren't really perfect, but our attack always carried threat. And I was proud of the boys, actually. I thought collectively we played really well. Really well. I thought we looked like the side more likely to score, particularly, I thought the first half, ironically, even though it ended 0-0, was probably the best first half we played this season. Quote me. I actually thought it was. Liverpool looked at their most dangerous in the first half. Don't get me wrong, but so did we. And then in the second half, they took the lead, and then they had a period of about 10 minutes where they were on top, and I just thought to myself, oh no, Paul Merson's little prediction is going to be right. But then after that 10-minute period went, to be honest, I thought it was all Arsenal. I would felt confident, actually, that we would score. And we did. It was a beautiful goal. I mean, let's talk about some of the... In fact, you know what? This is the player ratings, not the review. I will save my thoughts if I can get a word in edgeways tomorrow. But let's just say, for me, I thought mostly everybody contributed something today. Apart from a couple, and I will explain myself in terms of the marks that I give these players. So let's start with Leno. I'm going to give Leno a... See, I want to say 7 because he had there were 2 points where I just thought to myself, bruh. The one that led to their goal where he kind of punched it out. Basically, the ball came over the top from the left-hand side, or from Liverpool's left-hand side, and he kind of punched it out with his left hand. And don't get me wrong, it was an excellent finish from James Milner. To be honest, both goals were excellent finishes. But it was just like, I don't know, I felt like Chig would have dealt with that better. I do. The one thing I'll say for Chig, his handling, I have no issue with. Everywhere else, I have a bit of an issue with him. His handling, no problem. I just didn't think he dealt with that well enough. And then there was another opportunity where the ball came in and he came flying out the goal. And I was like, bruh, what are you doing? Having said all of that, I thought he made crucial save after crucial save, particularly in the first half, that kept it 0-0. So I've got to give him an 8. I've got to. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I thought Hector Bellerin, considering he came back from injury, had a fantastic game. I really did. I thought he looked like a constant threat. For me, I'd give Hector an 8 out of 10. Mustafi, listen, for me, I thought Mustafi went a little bit quieter in the first half. But that's more to do with the fact that I thought our dominance in the second half increased. In the first half, for me, that's the best game I've seen Mustafi have against a top team since Chelsea. Chelsea last season. that is. I thought he was excellent. Absolutely excellent. And you guys know I don't rate Mustafi, but he has these 1 in every 5 games where it's just fantastic. And to me, this was it. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Rob Holding was a 9 out of 10 now. I think Rob Holding was brilliant today. And I'll tell you, it's nice to be able to say that we actually have a central defender who's young, he's English, and he's doing his thing. He is doing his thing. And I mentioned the English factor because I do think that's important in terms of, I like the idea of having some gritty, centre back. Maybe it's the old man in me, but I still remember the Martin Keown days, the Tony Adams days, the Steve Bold days. And, that was where some of our best defending came from. Is our defense perfect? No. But also, I think part of it is just due to the fact that it's going to take us a long time to shake off the last few years under Wenger. It's going to take us a long time to break stupid habits that we did. But what I liked, and to me, it was exemplified in Rob Holding's performance, was there was so much fight today. Did Salah do anything? No. Did Firmino do anything? No. The only one that probably the one that seemed like he was causing the most problems out of the 3, I would suggest, was Mane. And even Mane didn't do much. And honestly, if you look in Rob Holding's pocket, I guarantee both Salah and Firmino are still in that pocket. Because he had them on lock. Firmino didn't do shit today. And I rate that guy a lot. He didn't do shit today. So more of a testament to Holding. So to me, 9 out of 10. I thought Kolasinac, who's another one who's been out for a long, long time. And every time we had a threat, particularly in the first half, every time we had a threat, it was down that left-hand side. Him and Aubameyang were causing problems. They didn't know how to pick up Kolasinac. I thought defensively, actually, he was better. He was better. Yes, I thought Mane escaped him a couple of times, but largely I thought he recovered well a lot of the time, actually. To me, I'd give him an 8 out of 10. Probably Granit Xhaka's best game I have ever seen in an Arsenal shirt. Granit was fantastic. Yeah, 1 misplaced pass in the first half. I will say that. But other than that, was faultless. From the first half, you could see the guy wanted it. He wanted it. He was like, all right, we're going to do this. Let's fucking do this. Let's do this. And we had a few players like that, and he was one of them. To me, 9 out of 10. My man in the match, Torreira, 10 out of 10. Was fantastic. My man put his body on the line a good 5-6 times where I thought Liverpool might do something, and he might be 5'5". I'll tell you what, the guy's a little pit bull. He does not care. He don't care. He's one of them little dogs. You've never been to a park where you see a big dog, right? A big dog, and that big dog's calm. He's easy. He ain't worried about life. He's cool. He's just taking his time. And then some feisty little dog will come running, barking on some sort of hype. And you think to yourself, bruh, this dog will eat you. Why don't you calm down? That Torreira has the spirit of that little dog. Absolutely, he don't care how big you are. He don't care. And to be honest with you, there were a couple of times where I actually thought a lot of the attack started with him. The guy is so good. He is so good. And he's my man of the match. 10 out of 10. Was faultless. Let's start with the controversy. Mkhitaryan, I thought, was the only guy where I thought, I need a little more from you, bro. I don't know. To me, he's not playing with confidence. He looks like a man that knows he's out of form. And that's why I was shocked. Sorry, you could probably hear the fireworks in the background. There are fireworks displays going on around here. But he looks like a man that knows that he's playing for his future a little bit, because to me, he was given this kind of nod, which came as a real shock to me. Like, as well as Iwobi's playing, you drop a. I don't even mind dropping Iwobi. You know, if you dropped Iwobi for Welbeck, I'd have been like, all right, I can kind of see the sense of that. But dropping him from Mkhitaryan, I was like, eh? So I didn't understand that, and to be honest with you, he was a little bit better than I've seen him recently, but he weren't much. He was the one player where every time the ball came to him, you wanted a little bit more from him, and nothing was quite happening. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Ozil, I thought was all right. I don't think he was as instrumental as he was in last year's fixture. But I thought he was okay. 7 out of 10. I thought there were a couple of moments, particularly as the game started to unfold, where he started to become more and more influential. But there were also a couple of times the ball came to him on the right-hand side. You're just thinking, Ozil, if you don't know what you're doing, release that ball quick. And he weren't. He kept losing the ball in dumb places. And that was my only gripe with Ozil. But other than that, I thought he was okay. 7 out of 10. Aubameyang, I thought, had a really good 20-minute spell in the first half, where his run was causing Trent Alexander problems. And in fact, so much so, they tried to put Fabinho on him, which, by the way, when did Fabinho turn shit? Because I don't think he was that good today. But they tried to put Fabinho on him. And he just weren't enough. They couldn't deal with Aubameyang for that 20-minute spell. And then it just kind of went quiet. I can almost see why Emre just thought, all right, and just brought him off, because in the second half, he didn't really do that much, to be honest. But in the first half, you could see that Lacazette was trying to get him into the game. Lacazette kept dropping deep and allowing Aubameyang to then move into a central striker spot and try and get him involved in the game. So it's a shame for Aubameyang. Just purely on the basis that I really liked his spell in that 20-minute period, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Up top, Lacazette. I don't think Lacazette was having the best in games, to be honest, until he scored that goal. That goal, you can't shit on it. You know, truth be told, and I'm about to praise the person that played the ball in for him, the ball was a little bit overran, and then he rescued it, turned it, and hit a delicious fucking finish. It was just like, oh my goodness. And I'm so happy, because in my Premier League team, I had a choice of going for a vice captain. It was either, my vice captain was either going to be, because Aguero was my captain, and it was either going to be Salah, which would have made sense in a lot of ways, or Lacazette. So I thought, you know what, fuck Salah, I'm back in my team. So I came into Lacazette. So I was like, yes, what a fucking choice. So yeah, I was really happy with that. But anyway, back to business. For me, I say with Lacazette, it gets 8 out of 10. So let's talk about the subs real quick. Aaron Ramsey didn't really do that much. I mean, I guess I will say this. This is the type of game where Ramsey's off the ball maybe had more of an influence than we think. Because Liverpool are all about movement. We're all about movement. So we were so on top at that period of time that Ramsey came on. Maybe Ramsey's substitution helped more than I'm perhaps giving it credit for. But to me, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I don't really think of it that much, in spite of everything I just said. I think Welbeck made a difference, because Arsenal kind of went into a 4-4-2 formation. Even the biased BT Sports commentary team, even they mentioned the fact that us kind of going into a 4-4-2 just completely bamboozled the Liverpool defence, and just Welbeck kind of off the ball running. You know what Welbeck does. You know what my boy Merson does. So for me, I give Welbeck a 6 out of 10. Iwobi, you already know Iwobi's getting an 8. And you already know Iwobi's getting an 8. Iwobi, I thought, looked lively as soon as he came on. Immediately made a difference. I kind of argued with people that there was a couple of people that were saying, "Oh, well, Mkhitaryan would be more effective in this game than Iwobi," and I'm like, really? Because as soon as Iwobi came on, he was driving forward. He was trying to make something happen. First of all, he went to the right. Then he switched and went to the left. I didn't switch with Ozil and went to the left. And as soon as he did that, played what I can only describe as a delicious pass. Just defense splitting. Completely bamboozled the Liverpool defense. To be honest, it was a little overrun, but I could see why Iwobi played it like that. Because unless he played it with that much pace, it weren't releasing Lacazette. And Lacazette managed to recover it, turned it. I'm not going to lie, I was screaming, just pass it to somebody. Don't try shooting yourself. Pass it to somebody. And fair play to Lacazette. Beautiful finish. But as I said on Twitter, if Ozil had played that pass, people would be busting their nut all over the place. But because it's Iwobi, we're not going to give Iwobi the credit because that would make us look stupid. So, no, we're not going to do that. 8 out of 10. For me, I give, you know what? I know we didn't win the game. I give Emre an 8 out of 10 because Emre clearly got these players fired the fuck up. I don't know if he showed them Paul Merson, and I'll come to Paul Merson punk ass in a minute. But he clearly, as soon as the game started, I thought, okay, Arsenal look on this team. And don't get me wrong, we still have our defensive frailties. We're always going to have that throughout this season. Let's just get used to that. It's going to take Emre a good few transfer windows to eradicate that. But you know, we looked about this life. You know, we looked like we were ready to perform. We looked feisty almost, and I like that. I love a feisty Arsenal. I love it. And I think that's all inhibited by the way that Emre is on the pitch as well, because you could see, in my opinion, actually, he was more animated than he normally is. You know, BT Sport did this caption where they just suddenly picked Emre up. No one was near Emre, and Emre kept doing shit like this. You know, and that talking to itself and shit. But I love that. Fucking hell, I love that. This is not a criticism. Because we've had a manager for the last 20 years that barely gets up when we score. How much more anything else? So it was so refreshing to have someone at Emre who's just so animated. And of course, as players, you feed off that shit. Of course you do. How Emre was more animated than Klopp. There was one point when Klopp was looking at him like, what the fuck is this guy on? Trust me, and for that, I have to give him a name. You know, and I thought we were unlucky not to win it. And, you know, Liverpool are seen as the team that's going to push Man City this year. They couldn't beat us. In fact, we were better. Let's have it right. We were the better team, and we were unlucky not to win it. But it makes me proud because it reassures me that, you know what, in this top 4 debate, we could last it. We could last it this season. We may be about right to actually finish in the top 4 this year. And I'm more confident than ever that we're going to be able to do that. And we had some injuries today. We still had injuries. We didn't have our very, very best team out there. But we did it. We did enough to be able to secure that point and move on. Anyway, guys, this is enough of me rabbiting. Let me know what your 1 to 10 would be. Do you disagree with anything I said? Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate every time you guys do that. As I said at the very top of the show, I'll be doing a review with the boys tomorrow night. So that's UK time, 9 p.m. GMT. So absolutely make sure you catch us for that. But other than that, people, that's it. I'm going to go off and enjoy the fireworks display that's going on. Crush that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you real soon. Take care.